So we are starting with our first session on research. I would like to welcome Dr. Hina Yousuf from MBBS Batch 5 to please come and talk to us about getting involved in research as an undergraduate and all the way till a consultant.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Dr. Hina, and I'm here to make a confession first. Yes, a confession. The confession is that 2 decades ago, I got admission into this very great university as a student who was very introvert, shy, and was afraid of public speaking. And I could have never imagined that after a long time here, I'll be standing on this podium talking to a group of wonderful people about a very important topic. And therefore today, this is a very special moment for me. I feel really very humble and grateful to the organizing members of the scientific committee they gave me this opportunity to talk to all of you about a very important topic. And I also take this opportunity to congratulate all of you on this 25th year celebration of Ziauddin Medical University. So I find a very important and a very interesting definition of research, which was given by Mr. Albert Kyourji. He said, research is an activity in which we see what everybody else has seen, and we think what nobody has thought. And that is what we aspire to achieve every year when we do conferences and workshops related to research. The aim of the research is to ignite curiosity in the mind about the things that are yet undiscovered and fulfill the idea of research. Since I'm talking about undergraduate students, I really acknowledge the fact that medical students had suffered a lot during this COVID-19 pandemic because they had to leave the clinical learning environment for several months. They have not only missed the routine of coming to this medical college, but they also have missed simulation, the clinical, the grand rounds, the important skills, family-centered rounding, and team-based care. Instead, they found themselves in a virtual learning environment where they had to be in front of the computer, availing online courses, recorded lectures, video chat, but there was no direct patient care. And we are talking about research for undergraduates. So this was an important point to highlight. Involvement of undergraduates in research is not a new phenomena. It has always been in the history of science. Mr. Paul Langerhans, he discovered the islets of Langerhans when he was a medical student. This was work done in 18th century. Mr. Charles Betts discovered human insulin when he was working with his supervisor, Mr. Frederick, in the University of Toronto in 1921. Mr. Alan Hodgkin won the Nobel Prize in 1972 for the work on nerve transmission that he began as an undergraduate. In the West, the involvement of undergraduates in the research, in the field of research, is very important, and they are far, far more ahead of us. Like in Germany, the literature says that 66% of medical students publish their papers in Medline Index publication. And after completion of their 6-year undergraduate program, they cannot assume the title of doctor unless they publish their presentation, unless they submit their thesis on research. Therefore, 90% of the practicing German physicians have already undertaken a period of research while they were undergraduates. In United Kingdom, 2/3 of medical students in the 2/3 of the medical UK graduate, they have experience, they are physicians without experiencing any research as an undergraduate, because research is usually voluntary work for UK medical graduates. And therefore, in 2007, MATS system gives award credits to the medical graduates for a first author paper in a peer-reviewed journal. It was noticed in the recent decades that there's a serious decline in the medical graduates choosing clinician scientist career. Therefore, there were two large US programs that sought to engage a student. One was called as National Institute of Health, which sponsored medical student research fellowship programs, and the other was Doris Duke Clinical Research Fellowship Program. Even in Europe and Netherlands, there were also some programs to engage medical students in the research. In United States of America, there's a project which is termed Medical Student Research Project. It teaches principle of research to the undergraduate. They allow students a 2 to 3 months opportunity to participate in a project. A number of opportunities are given to the students so that they expand their interests in various fields. And the 4th year of their undergraduate study provide a month-long block rotation for students who are interested in preventive medicine and public health. In developing countries, projects like MSRP have never been included as an essential component of medical curriculum. The medical students in this part of the world are not aware why research is crucial to healthcare. And if you see the literature, only 1.2% of researchers globally come from South Asia. And the situation is even graver in Pakistan because there's a lack of physician scientists. In the modern era, a physician has to understand that now we are based on evidence-based system. We have evolved from intuitions and personal rationales to evidence-based medicine. And therefore, the research begins with the idea that resulted from a question that needs an answer. It considers, correlates topics as literature review, it sets objective, chooses appropriate study design to fulfill the objective. Determination of target population, calculating sample size, choosing reliable tool for a validated result, and finally writing a proposal. Advancement in electronic media, digital libraries, and online databases have made access to literature more easy and feasible now. Therefore, a competent physician of 21st century must understand the importance of research, and this should only be started as an undergraduate. Unfortunately, Pakistan has one of the world's lowest ratio of doctors, dentists, nurses, and paramedics to the population. Though government of Pakistan is cognizant of the fact that investment in health sector is of utmost importance, and they would like to ensure that population should be healthy and they have equitable access to healthcare, quality healthcare services. But the fact is that government of Pakistan, the field of research has been a very low priority area for the government. Research is always considered to be one of the best indicators of scientific progress of any country. If you see Pakistan Journal of Medical Research was launched in 1958, but still it is not indexed in PubMed research. Pakistan Medical Research Council was established with the main aim to promote medical research in the country. In Pakistan, the medical curriculum followed by the major medical university is the one inherited by the British system at the time of partition. And since then, no reforms have been made. We know that in Pakistan, medical schools offer a 5-year program which leads to an MBBS degree. Basic health sciences are taught in the first 2 years, followed by exposure to clinical rotation in the next 3 years. But undergraduates, lack of participation in research, problem-based learning, and developing skills of critical thinking are the areas which has always been an area of debate. The students think that their most important goal is graduation. And the process of research, publication, it demands time and resources from the supervisor as well. Therefore, motivation is required for them to go through the process of research. Abraham Flexner was an educator and a reformer. He was hired by American Medical Association in the year 1908 to understand the medical school system of America and Canada. And he made a report in 1910 where he emphasized the importance of medical research and identified problems related to the medical education in that part of the world. This report led to a wide-scale advancement in medical research in the United States. I think perhaps Pakistan needs its own Flexner report, which points out the deficiencies in the which identifies the deficiencies of the medical research system. If you see the Pakistani literature, this is from a paper which was recently published in 2019. This shows the perception of the students related to professional and personal barriers, and 90.68% of students say that there's lack of knowledge how to go about the process of research when they are the student in the first, second, and third year. Followed by another barrier, which is lack of time. It is followed by lack of mentoring, lack of finance, limited database access, and lack of interest and lack of culture. There are so many barriers that a student perceives that there is for research. So there are different papers which appreciates different variables on such as knowledge, attitude, confidence of writing, and voluntary participation. And if you see, Pakistani paper says that in the recent literature says that the students think that the knowledge related to the need of research is around 49%, but they have a confidence that if they are given proper direction, they would be able to write paper. So in undergraduates in developing countries, the research is hindered due to several factors, because medical students do not consider research as a part of their curriculum, not a mandatory requirement of the curriculum. There's lack of funding, lack of time, and professional supervision. So there are many barriers which I've just mentioned, that there's no time, there's lack of knowledge, there's lack of mentoring, and there's lack of finances. So all postgraduate programs in Pakistan, like FCPS, MPhil, MD, and MS, they need dissertation writing for award of postgraduate qualification. And for that, a sound knowledge is required of research methodology. But lack of training in medical school leads the postgraduate trainees in a difficult position, that they do not have enough training to complete their dissertation in due time. Therefore, PG students actually hire professional writers for their dissertation writing. But whatever is ongoing in Pakistan, I would like to highlight that. So there are different research societies in Pakistan, such as Pakistan Medical Student Research Society, Asian Medical Student Association of Pakistan, Society for Undergraduate Medical Research, National Academy of Young Scientists in Pakistan. These are all the societies that are striving hard to incorporate, to involve and engage undergraduates in research. There are different expos which are held by different institutes, such as first undergraduate research expo was held in Liaquat National Hospital in year 2018, and they had consecutively 2 undergraduate research expo. And there are different undergraduate research conferences, such as in Peshawar Medical College, which was held in 2021. And there were 3 skill stations where the students actually got the idea how to go about the research. And there's Journal of Pioneering Medical Sciences. This is a journal which was started by 2 medical students at Dow Medical College of Karachi in 2011. So my view is that society holds important expectations of health professionals. Therefore, a health professional must know how to increase the current knowledge, especially which improves the living condition and health of the general population by planning and conducting research. What could be done? Teaching and training should be a mandatory part of the undergraduate medical curriculum, and mentors should be assigned to the undergraduate so that they can be helped by their seniors. Thank you very much.